all the latest military news update. This is AFP Community News, hosted by Rofh Suzon every 12 noon, Mondays to Fridays. Only here on DWDD Armed Forces Radio. One AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Authorities arrest Dawla Islamiyah bomb maker in Sultan-Kudarat. AFP and PNP launch joint probe on tipo-tipo officials killing. MMDA allows 24/7 access in EDSA for provincial buses on November 1 and 2. LTFRB to clear over 37,000 unresolved cases.
Hello to everyone, especially to our troops at Camp Emilio Ginaldo in Quezon City. Today is Thursday, October 30, and this is AFP Committee News, your source for the updates on the armed forces and other developments across the country. I am Rofh Suzon-Abay here to bring you today's stories.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
For the brief overview of our news, the Philippine National Police arrested a suspected bomb maker of the Dawla Islamiyah Hassan Group in Palimbang, Sultan-Kudarat, following a 5-hour operation last Tuesday night. Authorities seized an improvised explosive device from the suspect, who is listed 9th on the region's most wanted list for multiple crimes, including terrorism. The suspect is now detained at the Palimbang Municipal Police Station and will face the regional trial court in Cotabato City. PNP Chief Police Lieutenant General Jose Melencio Nartates Jr. praised the Special Action Force for their coordination with the Armed Forces of the Philippines and other agencies to neutralize high-value terrorist targets.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
The Philippine National Police and Armed Forces of the Philippines launched a coordinated investigation into the killing of Ustads Nadsmi Bahang Tarahin in Tipo-Tipo, Basilan, which triggered a recent clash. Authorities deployed intelligence operations to identify and arrest those responsible for the attack. The More Islamic Liberation Front pledged cooperation with the investigation to ensure continued peace in the area. Officials urged the public to remain calm and provide information to aid the probe, assuring residents that justice will be served swiftly.
Armed Forces Radio.
From our report on the ground, let us hear the report of Beth Tanyete about 86th IB and partners raise youth awareness on security and terrorism in Quirino.
The 86th Infantry Battalion, in partnership with the 204th Community Defense Center, the National Intelligence Coordinating Agency Region 2, and Philippine National Police DFAND, conducted a security awareness symposium at Quirino State University, DFAND Campus in Quirino. Over 300 National Service Training Program, student aware, educated on the dangers of terrorism, communist terrorist group recruitment, and illegal drugs. The activities aim to equip students with knowledge to make sound decisions and resist harmful influence. Through this initiative, the 86 IV reaffirmed its commitment and protecting the youth and fostering peace in local communities. This is Bethany reporting for the EFP Community News, one EFP for a stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Bethany.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
Normalcy has gradually returned to Barangay Tipo-Tipo proper following a radar-related clash. A ceasefire was successfully implemented through swift coordination among the provincial government of Basilan, Basilan Council of Elders, Moro Islamic Liberation Front leaders, Philippine National Police, and the Armed Forces of the Philippines. Residents have begun returning to their homes as main roads reopened, and relief operations from the Department of Social Welfare and Development, provincial government, and the 45th Infantry Battalion continue. Security forces remain deployed to ensure civilian safety and prevent further tension while the local economy slowly recovers.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
The Siligao Southern Leyte officially declared the town under stable internal peace and security condition during a ceremony recently. A memorandum of understanding was also signed to strengthen collaboration between the local government, military, and other sectors in maintaining peace. Mayor Limuel Honor said the declaration would open opportunities for more investors and tourists in the municipality. The Philippine Army emphasized that this milestone reflects the successful partnership between the government and the community toward lasting peace and development.
Armed Forces Radio.
From Papsi Mog, let us hear from Apple about Sweden eyes deepen defense ties with the Philippine Air Force.
Sweden eyes deeper defense ties with the Philippine Air Force following the engagement between Lieutenant Colonel Nicanor Son, Sweden's non-resident defense attaché based in Thailand, and Colonel Alcarde, the Philippine Air Force Assistant Chief of Air Staff for Intelligence, A2. During the engagement, Lieutenant Colonel Nicanor Son reaffirmed Sweden's commitment to strengthening bilateral defense relations. He revealed plans to establish a permanent defense attaché office in the Philippines, a move aimed at facilitating closer military-to-military coordination. He also showcased his country's advanced defense capabilities, shared operational best practices, and highlighted systems potentially suited to the PAF's modernization needs. Both sides expressed optimism for sustained dialogue and practical cooperation in areas of mutual interest, including air defense, training, and technology transfer. This is Apple Burabo reporting for AFP Community News. One AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Apple, from Papsi Mog.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
The Armed Forces of the Philippines successfully concluded the Philippine Navy Drone Warfare Summit 2025 at the Subic Bay Convention Center, Zambales, yesterday. The event featured live drone demonstrations highlighting the vital role of unmanned aerial systems in modern military operations. AFP Chief of Staff General Romeo Browner Jr. lauded the summit as a milestone in advancing the country's defense modernization and self-reliant defense posture. He reaffirmed the AFP's vision of developing Philippine-made unmanned systems that will safeguard national sovereignty for future generations.
DWDD National News.
For our national news, the Philippine National Police has begun its soft deployment of police personnel nationwide ahead of the expected surge in travelers and visitors to cemeteries for the observance of All Saints' Day and All Souls' Day. The soft deployment allows police units to position their personnel and resources on the ground. The deployment aims to address traffic buildup, maintain order, and assist travelers even before the peak travel period begins. The PNP is on heightened alert from October 29 to November 3, which means all police units nationwide are required to increase the level of readiness and security posture to respond quickly to any incident or emergency.
Armed Forces Radio.
More updates from AMI. MBLT 10 conducts community outreach and West Philippine Sea Awareness Drive in Cagayan.
Yes, Rofh, the Marine Battalion Landing Team 10 carried out a community outreach program at Sitio Padungsol, Barangay Basaw, Gataran, Cagayan as part of its Pre-Battalion Activation Day activities. The event included the distribution of toys and relief goods, a feeding program, BP checkups, and free haircuts. MBLT 10 also conducted a West Philippine Sea Information Drive
to raise public awareness on maritime security and national sovereignty. The initiative reinforced the Marines' commitment to peace, unity, and community service in northern Luzon. This is Ami reporting for AFP Community News, 1 AFP for Stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Amy.
DWDD National News.
The Metropolitan Manila Development Authority announced that it would allow provincial buses to pass through EDSA round the clock to accommodate the influx of travelers for All Saints' Day and All Souls' Day. The measure will be implemented from 10 p.m. on today until 5 a.m. on November 3. The decision came after the nagkaisang samahan ng nangangasiwa ng panlalawigang bus sa Pilipinas Incorporated requested permission to use EDSA throughout the observance period to meet the expected rise in passenger volume. In a letter to MMDA Chairperson Don Artes, the group's executive director Alejandro Yagi Jr. said the use of EDSA will improve turnaround times and provide more available bus trips to sufficiently service the additional passengers. The group also assured the compliance with the MMDA's nose-in, nose-out policy and other regulations.
DWDD National News.
Independent Commission for Infrastructure recommended the filing of plunder and indirect bribery charges against Senators Jinggoy Estrada and Joel Villanueva and former Ako Bicol Party List Representative Elizalde Zaldico, as well as several former government officials over the multi-billion peso flood control scandal. Ombudsman Jesus Crispin Remulla said they expect to file the first batch of cases against those involved at the Sandigan Bayan no later than November 25. ICI Chairperson Andres Reyes earlier said Estrada Villanueva former Department of Public Works and Highways Undersecretary Roberto Bernardo, Commission and Audit Commissioner Mario Lepana, and former Caloocan Representative Mary Mitzi Kahayon Oy may be liable for violations under the Bribery and Corruption of Public Officers, the Anti-Graft and Corrupt Practices Act, and Plunder Law. These are the first recommendations made by the ICI since it began the investigation of the flood control scandal.
Armed Forces Radio.
And now some information from Shaina about Second ID honors newly graduated Scout Rangers for excellence and service.
Yes, Rofh. The 2nd Infantry Division honored the newly graduate Scout Rangers during the joint closing ceremony of Scout Rangers Course Class 226-2025 and Scout Ranger Sniper Course Class 39-2025 at Camp Texon, San Miguel, Bulacan. The graduates were recognized for their vital role in the 203rd Infantry Brigade's focused military operations. Brigadier General Melencio Ragudo, representing 2ID Commander Major General Ramon P. Zagala, awarded the Jungle Fighter Stripes to 213 new Rangers and presented special awards to top achievers. The event highlighted the strong partnership and shared commitment to the Scout Rangers and Jungle Fighters to peace and security in Southern Tagalog. This is Shaina Raneta reporting for AFP Community News, 1 AFP for Stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Shaina.
DWDD National News.
Meanwhile, the Civil Aviation Authority of the Philippines confirmed that 3 aircraft linked to former Ako Bicol Party List Representative Zaldico have left the country. The government agency said the aircraft include 1 Gulfstream 350 jet and 2 helicopters. The Gulfstream 350 has been in Singapore since August 16, while the 2 Augusta Westland helicopters are currently in Kota Kinabalu, Malaysia, and that the report said the departures occurred before a freeze order on cost assets was sought by the Department of Public Works and Highways and before the Independent Commission for Infrastructure recommended charges.
DWDD National News.
Senator Francis Escudero filed Senate Bill 1467 to standardize the budgeting process for infrastructure projects and curb overpricing. SB 1467 introduces a detailed unit price analysis system to ensure that appropriations reflect actual market costs and are backed by clear technical documentation. Escudero said that the DUPA requirements should be a condition for the inclusion of any infrastructure project in the National Expenditure Program and the release of public funds. The senator emphasized the said project costs should have basis, details, and accountability and not be made through guesswork.
Armed Forces Radio.
Let us hear more from Maljoy of 1st CRG about 209 former rebels withdraw support from CTG, pledge commitment to government in Aurora.
Yes, Rofh, a total of 209 former rebels withdrew their support from the communist terrorist group and pledged allegiance to the government during a ceremony facilitated by the 91st Infantry Sinagtala Battalion of Philippine Army held at Agricultural Multipurpose Covered Court, Barangay Marikit, Kasiguran, Aurora. The activity was conducted in collaboration with the various government agencies and local government units as part of the continuing implementation of the whole-of-nation approach under Executive Order No. 70. Also in attendance during the event were representatives from the Philippine National Police, Department of the Interior and Local Government, National Intelligence Coordinating Agency Regional Office 3, Department of Health, Technical Education and Skills Development Authority, Department of Trade and Industry, Department of Social Welfare and Development, Department of Agrarian Reform, Bureau of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources, and the local government unit of Kasiguran. The activity culminated with a pledge of commitment and the signing of the oath of allegiance to the government by the former communist terrorist group supporters, symbolizing their unity with community and their determination to contribute to the peace and development efforts in their respective barangays. This activity demonstrates the government's steadfast commitment to ending local communist armed conflict through convergence and cooperation among national agencies, local governments, and the community, ensuring lasting peace and inclusive progress in the province of Aurora. This is Meljoy Nesho Arok reporting for AFP Community News. One AFP for stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Maljoy of 1st CRG.
DWDD National News.
For other national news, the Land Transportation Franchising Regulatory Board has discovered more than 37,000 unresolved motions and petitions and has vowed to resolve all of them before the end of 2025. LTFRB Chairperson Vigor Mendoza II said the directive came after Department of Transportation Acting Secretary Giovanni Lopez was informed of the backlog through a recent internal report. Mendoza said Secretary Lopez was bothered by this report and immediately ordered them to solve the backlog at the soonest possible time, since this may have something to do with the public transportation problems not only in Metro Manila but also in other parts of the country. The audit found 33,000 cases pending before the LTFRB and an additional 4,000 in various divisions.
DWDD National News.
The Makati City government announced that it will extend 34 million pesos in financial aid to localities hit by recent earthquakes and typhoons. Of the total amount, 30.5 million pesos is allocated for earthquake-stricken localities in Cebu and 20.5 million is earmarked for areas affected by the combined effects of the southwest monsoon and tropical cyclones Mirasol, Nando, and Opong. Makati's Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Office also deployed a 12-member rescue team with full equipment to assist in relief and recovery operations in Cebu.
Armed Forces Radio.
And more updates from Gina about 96IB partners with MCGI to provide free health services in Masbate.
Yes, Rofh, the 96th Infantry Battalion, in partnership with the Members Church of God International, spearheaded a free dental, medical, and optical mission at its headquarters in Barangay Cabitan, Mandawan, Masbate. The initiative aimed to deliver essential health services to soldiers, their families, and nearby residents as part of the unit's community outreach efforts. Volunteer doctors and dentists provided free checkups, tooth extractions, and eyeglasses to beneficiaries. 96 IB Commander Lieutenant Colonel Francis R. Espiritu lauded the activity as a reflection of the unit's continued commitment to public service and strengthening ties with local communities. This is Gina reporting for AFP Community News, 1 AFP for Stronger Philippines.
Thank you so much, Gina.
DWDD National News.
President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. signed into law a measure institutionalizing the Lifelong Learning Development Framework. Under Republic Act 12313, the LLDF establishes standards and guidelines for implementing lifelong learning initiatives in cities, municipalities, barangay, and lifelong learning providers. The law stated that LLDF shall promote functional literacy across all sectors, ensure inclusive education, revitalize learning in families and communities, and support workplace learning with the participation of industry and other stakeholders. It also seeks to extend the use of modern learning technologies, uphold learning quality, and foster a culture of learning throughout life.
DWDD National News.
And the 4-hour weather update: cloudy skies with scattered rains and thunderstorms are expected in Visayas, Mindanao, Bicol region, and Mimaropa because of the Intertropical Convergence Zone or ITCZ. Pag-asa said Batanes, Cagayan, Apayao, and Ilocos Norte will see cloudy skies with rains due to the amihan, while Metro Manila, Calabarzon, Aurora, and Isabela will expect cloudy skies with scattered rains and isolated thunderstorms because of the shear line. The rest of Luzon will experience localized thunderstorms. Winds will be moderate to strong, and coastal waters will be moderate to rough in extreme northern Luzon.
Armed Forces Radio.
On the other line, let's hear more from Ferdy about MBLT 10 boosts Marines' technical skills through training with Cagayan State University.
Good day everyone, the Marine Battalion Landing Team 10 successfully concluded a 2-day skills enhancement training in partnership with Cagayan State University Sanchez Mira campus at its headquarters in Lalo, Cagayan. The training covered automotive troubleshooting, electrical maintenance, and computer repair to improve the technical proficiency and problem-solving skills of participating Marines. These newly acquired skills aim to strengthen operational readiness and self-reliance in field operations. The collaboration highlights MBLT-10's commitment to continuous learning and technical advancement in support of the Philippine Marine Corps' mission-ready vision. This is Ferdy Blues reporting for AFP Community News, 1 AFP for Stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Ferdy.
DWDD National News.
President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. and First Lady Liza Araneta Marcos attended the 50th anniversary commemoration of the Thrilla in Manila at the Smart Araneta Coliseum in Quezon City. The Presidential Communications Office posted photos of Marcos and the First Lady attending the event with former Senators Manuel Ross II and Manny Pacquiao, the only 8th Division World Champion in boxing. Marcos also met with the boxers who participated in the event. Malacanang earlier issued a memorandum circular encouraging all government agencies to support the Philippine Sports Commission as part of the preparations for the 58th anniversary commemoration of the Thrilla in Manila.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
And that concludes today's broadcast, and thank you for tuning in, especially to our audience on AFP Radio, DWDD's Facebook page. Be sure to join and catch us again next week for more stories and updates, same time and same station. Again, this is Rofh Suzon-Abay for AFP Community News, 1 AFP for Stronger Philippines.
Behold the latest military news update. This is AFP Community News, hosted by Rofh Suzon every 12 noon, Mondays to Fridays. Only here on DWDD Armed Forces Radio. 1 AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Ito ang DWDD 1134 kHz AM. Balita, impormasyon at musika. Ito ang DWDD AFP Radio. Boses ng Kawal Pilipino.
Kayo ay nakatutok sa DWDD AFP Radio. Kami po ay kasapi ng KBP, Kapisanan ng mga Broadcaster ng Pilipinas.